All right, so we're back for another week on Cheap Seats. We gonna kick off the show this week with our usual Tap House tip-off, and well, I'll let Wilson kind of talk about the golf, I suppose, first.
Well, you posted the video, so the video does it keeps there's some suspense in there.
What didn't do it justice was you almost falling into number 3 river, which was great.
Well, that's just proves how difficult that shot was. I was right on the edge of the lake.
What a finish.
Yeah, it was very impressive. I'll give it that. I was dropping some swears. If the swear jar extended to outside the podcast, there would have been some extra money going in there. But I really loved Jeff's, what was that, a 56? Was that a 60 on hole 2 from hole 3 rough? What was that?
I'm the only one in this group that would attempt 100.
Can you talk us through that shot, please? Let us know what you were thinking.
Jeez.
Jace, my partner, shot it at about 115 to the flag with tall trees between me and the flag. And only a 60 degree gets over it. I'm the only one in this group that can hit a 60 degree 115 yards.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God.
I gave her a go and took a rip at it and swung too hard and pole hooked it off a branch, which ended up to be a perfect little layup.
Pole hooked?
No, that was just
you hit that wedge like it had the loft of a 3-iron. Like it wasn't a.
Anyway, let's stop talking about you losers and start talking about how Connor and I came through in the clutch, pulled the last hole. I gotta give him credit. He has to hit a 3-wood, pretty much all he's got, 200 yards into that green with the water on the left, and if he goes in it, we're kind of toast. So he came through with the pressure shot. I was pumped for him. It was like right at the stick too.
The kids' chirping game is on point,
man.
Well, that's the thing. We gotta put a little bit of a lighter side little video out to show there was some good chirping going on. It was a fun group. That was actually a really good time. Thanks to Amanda for lining that up.
Like Connor's, like he was chirping the entire time, like he knew you were gonna win.
He was chirping me at points.
Oh man!
Second shot on hole 3 did not get the full justice it deserved because you were so in my kitchen when I was switching between a 7-iron. You know, it's just horrible. I did the 7-iron. I was just gonna lay up. All we needed was a layup. No, Wilson goats me into pulling the 5-wood, so that I'm already thinking it. Then I said, no, I'm not going to let him get to me. I'm going to put the wood back, pull out the 6-iron, get a little bit closer. And it just completely went straight sideways. And, it turned out to be not a horrible layup, but it was not good by any stretch of the imagination. And, props to the juniors, Fenwick, Jace, Connor. You guys played great, and it was fun. The best highlight, I wish we would have had it on video, was that schmuck coming around 18 and leaving the green. If you watch the video, you can tell and you can just hear it in the background. He kissed that cement guard around the flower bed like I've never seen, and he
rammed it.
Backed up and drove away like nothing happened. And I'm thinking, bud, you just about rammed that cart over the railing. So good on you. Had a lot of fun, guys. So we look forward to our next one. We'll definitely be announcing that. So
let's do the draw.
Yep.
So the winner who picked, like I said in the video, there was only how many people that picked that team?
Four,
I think, yeah.
Picked that team.
54 picked us.
Still better than the 2 that picked me out of pity. So
how many picked you guys, Pratt?
Well, I don't know, like 15 or something.
Oh.
Favored. On paper, we were the better team, right?
You have a college player on. Like, it wasn't because of you, Jeff. Let's just
potato.
Well,
I'm just trying. I can't get over how many bad shots Jeff hit and how bad they were.
Yeah.
And no.
You know what? On the video, I had 2 good shots, by the way. But do the draw. I don't need to stick up for my game with you schmucks.
Well, you're the one that has the draw.
Oh yeah,
the golf.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got the trivia golf or the trivia draw.
Oh well,
Oh,
I
So
wish
we
you
don't
would.
have the golf draw.
I wish you would have defended those shots, Jeff,
we
because it was a
had
lot of fun to watch.
one. Oh my God.
Okay, we got to do the golf draw after. Go to the next draw then.
Go to the next one. We're gonna do the pizza giveaway. We can
All
handle
right.
that one. I got that one ready to go. So, courtesy of the Tap House, we're gonna give you away the old large pizza again this week. Draw from the hat. Steve Godfrey
Gotcha.
Oh.
getting himself a free pie. It's good.
He knows where the top house is.
He definitely does. Yep. The trivia question, Jeffrey, for all of our dedicated viewers, what is the answer to that gong show of a question?
Ice Factory trivia question.
Ice Factory.
Sorry. Yeah.
Which we will ask the new question after. Who I would, if I had the opportunity to spend the rest of my life with out of those four, the answer was Anna Kournikova.
That was kind of
She
the
was the only
only one I knew.
respectable one out of the four, so I'm glad you went that route.
Yeah, Jeff's got a thing for Russians, hey?
Nancy Lopez. Yeah, Nancy Lopez. Right on.
Well, Katerina Witt in her prime. I mean, some women are like fine wine, right? They better with age.
You would know. You like wine.
Some finer than others.
And never mind.
Anyways, here we go. We got 6 names in here. Brody Haygarth.
Oh, nice.
Brody Haygarth getting the gift card to the
Hagee.
Ice Factory. So there's a solid weekend for you right there. That's good. And I put up a Clark Gillies signed 8x10 photo that it's out of my personal collection. Just trying to throw it back to the people a bit here. So draw out of that one, see who ends up getting it. Maddie Garrigan.
Nice.
Nice.
Garrigan
Hey.
getting the Clark Gillies 8x10 autographed photo. So
We're going to do the Ice Factory trivia question for this week, boys.
absolutely we are. We're just getting the draws out of the way because, you know, we kind of have to do that. But if you've got the question, I'll tell you what, Jeff. If you want to give the question, or Boomer, whoever has it, I'll get the other draw ready to go here.
Yeah.
Booms, what is it?
Well, I'm going back to basically the golf realm of things here. And I want to ask, who has the most second place finishes at Augusta at the Masters? It'll be a multiple choice question. So I'm going to go number 1, Tom Watson. Number 2, Raymond Floyd. Number 3, Phil Mickelson. Number 4, Tom Weiskopf. And number 5, Greg Norman. See what you can do there.
Well, if I had to guess, I think I know who I would go with, but okay. So we'll do the draw for the prize for the Woodlawn Golf one after. It's actually a really amazing prize from Amanda and the golf course. Dozen Pro V's, a 10 range bucket pass, and a golf hat, which, you know, we really appreciate her doing that. And the thing is we had a lot of fun doing it, guys. That was Chirp Central for an hour and a half, and it was I don't know what was worse though, Pratt's shots or Boomer just being in my ear every time I was trying to shoot with like commentary. Worst thing ever. And like, you're trying to stay focused, right? But Pratt, I'm sorry, the fact that on hole 1 you tried getting away with the fact that that's how you hit your normal chip shot from 50 yards from the green, and you sculled it on the forehead of the ball.
Will, you golf with me. That's how I hit him.
That's just no. That's not.
He,
Even the boys are not shaking their head, man. But hey, we'll let you slide with it. It was good. So
he does hit him like that. That was a little thin.
that was thin.
Little thin, but
He does hit him like that. Come on.
Okay, so we'll move into our top five. Top five.
Oh,
For
Tapos merger.
God, I hate that.
Anyways, episode 8 or Sode 8 actually calmed her down a little bit from Sode 7. So we're in for 24 more bucks this last week. And so that brings us up now total to $137. So There's some nice cheddar in there for whoever we give it to. So that's pretty good.
Like I said, in the next couple of weeks, we'll probably be deciding who we're going to give the first run to. So we'll make a decision. We'll definitely announce that on the air. So now we will move into our top 5. This week we're doing top 5 rivalries, and it can be anything from a one-on-one rivalry to a team rivalry to anything of that nature. So mine's, I don't know. I feel I dropped the ball on this one. I got a couple good ones. I really feel ones that really wouldn't be brought up, but I will. I'll start with my number 5. Oh, Wilson, I just know he's gonna Kings and Ducks. Anytime the Kings and Ducks it is Battle of California. I've been to a couple of games, Kings Ducks. It goes back to the playoff series in 2013, 2014. Just a lot of it, but you could say that for any division rivalry, and I'll get to that in a bit. My number 4 rivalry, The Rock and Stone Cold. The Rock and Stone Cold.
I thought of that one too.
That's wicked.
How do you go wrong with that? I just remember, and like for the people that aren't wrestling, whatever, I get it. That was such an entertaining era for everybody.
I was more of a WCW guy.
Well, okay, so I'm moving into that one. And if we all remember during this time, it was WCW and NWO. It was the hottest thing going at that time.
NWO was part of WCW.
Well, I realized, but the storyline was, come on, Wilson, work with me here.
WCW. I thought you were talking about WWE versus WCW.
Right. I mean, you could say that one too, but at the time, WCW versus NWO, the good versus the bad, that whole storyline, and then they went to the black and red, which was even more awesome at that time. Oh, best theme song ever. Love that theme song. Okay, we can't spin off into wrestling here.
Do you guys remember though the N64 game of WCW versus NWO? It was unbelievable.
Oh, I loved it.
Incredible.
Battle Royals. Oh
yes, it was amazing.
Yeah. I still say we need to do a WWE show. Pratt is just disgusted with us right now.
I love wrestling, but I don't like WCW.
Oh. See, this could be a good debate. The old days, WCW, WWF in their primes. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Upcoming episode. My number 3, the 90s, Detroit and Colorado. Ooh, those were wars, from the Draper hit from Lemieux to McCarty beating the absolute piss out of Lemieux to Patrick Waugh fighting Osgood and Vernon, and you name it. Those were just great, and the talent on both sides was just unreal. You had Forsberg, Sakic, Hayduk, Tank, and Detroit loaded on the other side. Yzerman, Lidstrom.
Fedorov.
Great games to watch, fun games to watch. I copped out on this one. I kind of feel bad about it, but just it is what it is. Any divisional matchup, anytime in NFL, whether it's, dare I say, even like the Cowboys versus the Redskins, those teams get up for those games. They're great games to watch. Packers, Bears, anything of that nature, right? Baseball, same thing. If you see a team 20, 30 times in a year, you're going to have rivalries, right? And you're going to have emotions boil over. And my number 1, because I've been to a game and I've seen it, college football rivalries. Georgia, Florida, Notre Dame, USC. Those primetime games on Saturday nights, they don't get much bigger than that. It's not just 1 or 2. There's probably about a dozen. Oregon State, the Civil War game. Cal Stanford, the list goes on. And they're such big games for the fan bases that, it's a big event, as opposed to not every game, I guess, in the college football is a big game, but most are sold out. These ones are hard ones to get to. So great entertainment. Those are my top 5. I really want to do a future WWE, WWF one. We have to. Pratt, come on, buddy, give it to me. I want to do it.
I would consider one, or maybe a side epi. Maybe a side epi.
A side sode. We'll do a side sode. Do a side sode. All right. Whoever wants next, have at her.
I kind of just want Wilson to plan us a trip to one of these big college football games, but
it won't be for a while.
I'm telling you, for those that have watched and have gone, you know what I'm talking about. College is You think like Bills Mafia is something? You have no idea. Go to an Oregon game. Go to an LSU.
Oh yeah.
Game.
Oh, exactly.
Nuts.
Okay, who's up? Because that's a pretty easy act to follow. That was a terrible list, Laner.
All right. Well, Dustin's up, it sounds like. Let's go, Wilson.
Oh, just two vague cop-outs with the division.
Yeah, what was that?
But that's the thing. Okay, so just hold on before we even move any forward. Like I said beforehand, what if you're gonna give out ones like I'm doing it. The Yankees, Red Sox. What everyone knows that. Like that's.
Oh yeah,
beautiful
football
rivalry.
is a real freaking surpriser there.
Oh, some guy like honestly. No, we're not getting into this. Nope.
The Yankees Red Sox is a beautiful rivalry. I mean,
I understand that, but it's
I had to strike it from my list because of some last minute rule, and I
didn't say it was a rule. I just said it was a way too easy cop out. So
okay, Wilson, go.
Okay, I'm going. Now this one on my list is one that I actually didn't witness as much. Like it would have been no, I can't even say it did. But the stories from my dad and my grandpa, actually, the Jack Arnie battle and stuff. And I tried to think of one that I like. Tiger Phil. No, like that wasn't. Tiger just kills everyone. So I love a good golf rivalry. Probably have a few of my own, but the Jack Arnie one, and it from the sounds of it, it actually sounds like Arnie's army was the leader of the pack there. I think more people cheered for Arnie, didn't they?
I think so, yeah.
I like Palmer more than
I was always a Jack guy because Dad was, but anyway, I just think that's really cool. I wish we had something like that in today's game. And now that Tiger is he's in the mix still, but it's a little bit more competitive, and I think it might come. But number 4, Lane just said it, New York, Boston. I kind of agreed with Lane that it's a really easy one, but at the same time, I actually went to the New York Boston 100th anniversary game at Fenway, and I kind of mentioned Fenway was an awesome park to go to, but all the Yankees fans that went, you got all the Boston fans, and you got these diehards, right? And it's just, you got these New York accents, these Boston accents, and they are just relentlessly chirping each other the entire time. Like 75-year-old ladies, yeah, they're letting like big, huge New York police, they're just beaking each other, and I'm just like, wow, this is awesome. So it was cool to see it. That's why I was like, I got to throw that one on my list. 4. This is one that, I mean, I think it's, I don't want to say it's lost it. Well, it definitely has from what it used to be, but the Battle of Alberta is kind of another easy one to throw out there.
It's back, though.
I was just about to say, it kind of, from the 80s, it took a bit of a lull, and now it's climbing back. Been to a game once. That was the one where we went to the game. Lee, Flames win. We're in the C train after. Lee's holding his jacket, and the Flames fans are just everywhere, and everyone's high-fiving on the train. I'm with these guys over here. All of a sudden, I look over at Lee. Lee's got the jacket zipped right up to the nose, just kind of standing there. Because he was wearing the Oilers jersey underneath, and he's like, no, I'm not dealing with it. 2, so Green Bay. Everyone would immediately go Green Bay, Chicago for a rivalry. But for any fan in, I guess, my generation, I think the rivalry there is Green Bay, Minnesota. It's been way more competitive, consistently competitive. Chicago's been in and out, but the games have been better, and I think the Favre factor adds way more throughout this whole thing, that he went to the Vikings to play Green Bay, played them twice. Once again, I was at that game the first time we played them. Unbelievable. Actually, there's a stat that I think it's the most watched Monday Night Football game in NFL history is when Favre played the Packers for the first time. And you know what? I wore my Cheesehead and Rogers jersey. I was getting full on bullied at that place. They're flipping it off. They're like pushing me as I'm walking by. Like it was not. I just went home after it was because but I had this soft spot because I'm like, oh, Favre did kind of stick it to us. I'm like,
deep down, did you not want Favre to win that game or no?
Absolutely, he did.
Down
For sure he did. For sure.
That year was a weird year. Like I legitimately was cheering for the Vikings at one point.
Ugh.
Anyway, number one, this is kind of a funny one. Esteban Weyburn.
Oh, good one.
All in every facet.
In everyone, like I got me personally. I'm not I'm not in the Bruins Red Wings rivalry, but I coached the McLeod series. I played in it. Red Coat Smash for volleyball. Huge rivalry with those guys, and I was part of the team that broke the 32-year McLeod series streak that Esteban was losing, and it's got nothing but more exciting throughout those years. So
I remember
that's my number one.
I remember back. I got a few years on you guys, but when Estevan the Alex had a really good team. They went to Hoopla a couple times.
Yeah.
The Andrew Wabas, the Barnstable, the West Jickling. I remember going to those games. My sisters played on the senior girls team, Andrew and Lonnie, and those games, I remember it got so dirty that one game in Weyburn. The Eagles' head, the mascot, his head went flying over the balcony of the top part of the gym. There was a fight, and then Electro Man got into a fight with somebody. And
yes.
Like there were literally people coming to the game. They had went and like stole people's garbage cans on the way to the gym for noisemaker night, and they were some great games. I mean, even just
have you been to one lately, Lane? Like
I haven't been one probably since at least 10 years, honestly.
Oh, the last 5 years, there's not a single spot in the stands.
Oh, really? Yeah, well, it was the same standing room.
Like it's awesome. Like it's the one basketball game a year really that everyone tries to attend, like in the community or whatever. Both gyms do it upright.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, very much. I could go on about that too, but we'll keep going here. Boomer, you're up.
That's a good one.
Oh, I lost my train of thought there for a second. I was actually going to say something about Wilson's thing there, but no, mine are kind of, I don't know, mine are kind of a little bit, they're going to seem weird to you guys, I think. There'll be a couple in there that you'll be like, oh yeah, okay, I see it.
Lanes.
Can't be any worse than my list. So
one's gonna make Jeff mad, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't take mine. Okay.
Okay. Well, this one snuck in basically because of the last minute change that I got from Wallace saying that we couldn't use the Red Sox Yankees.
Change. I just said it was cheap.
Okay, so I didn't go cheap. But when I was down at school there, living outside Kansas City, the big thing, we had been to a few baseball games, right? The big thing that we had seen was when the Cardinals came down the highway, and it was called the I-70 rivalry, right? Because that's the interstate that splits the two cities. And so you'd go to a game back then, because Kansas City wasn't very good, and I've said this before, and I bet you I could probably take a baseball and throw it in any given direction and not hit somebody in the stands. There was nobody there. Like
$7 draft. Yeah.
Yeah, like a realistic number in the stands was probably like 5,000, 6,000 people. Like it didn't seem like a lot of people. Yeah, it was dead.
Kansas City's horrible. Yeah.
So, but when St. Louis would come, it was completely different. All of a sudden there was tailgating. There was an hour and a half wait on the interstate off ramp to get to the park. It was just a completely different picture. So that's definitely going to be my thing. I wish that they would come up against each other and you know the playoffs. That'd be pretty cool. I'd like to actually go down there and see that because that'd be pretty wild. But that's my number 5. My number 4 is the Ryder Cup, U.S. versus Europe, and the reason that I'm picking this is because watching it lately. And I hate that douchebag Patrick Reed so much. He's such a piece of shit. But
not enough to make the top 5, though.
Yeah.
You know what? At the same time, he kind of makes it like you almost watch it because of stupid people like him. And like Rory McIlroy, I mean, him doing the thing with the ear and whatever, like, I don't know. I enjoyed watching that. And I think guys like Jordan Spieth and, Justin Thomas and, just those guys, they're going to make it that much better as the Ryder Cup goes on. So the Ryder Cup definitely is in there for me. My next one is Capitals versus Penguins, or better yet, Ovi versus Sid.
Wow.
How do you not, Jeff? Come on.
How do you not leave that to me?
Well, you should have went first. So basically, basically for me, it's all too perfect. The Capitals draft Ovi, and then the next year the Penguins draft Sid. And everybody knew that it would come down to it. Everybody knew that it would, one day these two would be facing off against each other and, some of the wildest playoff battles that we've seen. I know that the record doesn't fit Jeff's boy Ovi very well in the playoffs, but I definitely feel that that's a rivalry that needs to be mentioned in my top five. My number 2, Wilson stole it, which is, it's funny, but whatever. Jack versus Palmer. And I didn't witness any of it. Wilson said it too so well. Like, I love Tiger. Everybody knows I love Tiger. If anybody's listening to the episode, they know how I feel about Tiger. But what would you say? Is it Tiger versus everyone? Because he just murdered people. He changed the game. So for me, the tightness between Jack and Palmer back in the day, Palmer was always kind of the, working class man's, favorite player. And Jack was just that guy with the sweet swing, and, they battled it out. I wish I would have been alive to see that. That would have been unbelievable. And my number 1 is Pittsburgh Steelers and Baltimore Ravens. Obviously for personal reasons, but there's nothing like watching those two teams play each other. So, and for now, Steelers lead the regular season record 28-23. So I'm going to hold that over Bucko's head for as long as it lasts. And we'll see where we're at when the dust settles. So, yeah.
I love how Wilson roasts me whenever I say something about the Kings or the Patriots, but brings up Pittsburgh, and nope, it doesn't even bat an eye. Like,
I want you to go back. Lane, and I want you to actually make note of how many times I've brought up the Pittsburgh Steelers in past episodes.
It doesn't make it any less of a homer thing.
Yes, it does.
I'm not bringing it up every 30 seconds. I could have said
New England and Pittsburgh in the 2000s.
Lane, that was about the 7th time in one episode that you had brought them up when I kind of had to pull the reins back on you there.
This isn't just a one-time thing.
Over under for Pittsburgh.
At the beginning of this episode, when I said Kings and the Ducks, the eye roll, I knew it was already coming. So anyway, Jeffrey,
so did we, Lane. So did we.
Okay, Jeff, I'm sorry for stealing your one, but I'm not sorry at all.
I'm speechless, actually, that you took Caps, Pens, Ovi, Sid. I even left Battle of Alberta for you two.
He's probably worried you weren't going to say it, Pratt, because why would you guys have been stomped in that rivalry the whole time. So
it's my number 1. Now I got nothing to say about it, but whatever.
Well, you can say it. I'm sure you're more knowledgeable about hockey than I'll ever be. So you can list off facts, stats, data, whatever you got going there.
You're right.
Trademarks, there's plenty of those in the Capital jerseys. So let's have it.
I like the fact that they're both first overalls and they're good as advertised and they've delivered for 15 years. That's the best part. And They bring the best out of each other. I respect Sid off the ice. I don't like him on the ice, but I respect his play on the ice. But one thing that's interesting is the Caps actually won the lottery. Pittsburgh had a 25% chance of drafting Ovi the year ahead of Crosby. And
oh my God.
Third last and got Ovi. So there was a very good chance it would have been Ovi and Sid actually on the same team because there was no season between, right? Your lotto carried over. So, anyways,
what would that have looked like? Holy,
that it was Malkin instead of Ovi. But anyways, I went off the beaten path on this, so they're maybe not the best rivalries, but some that I like. Next one I got, and you guys may not even remember this, Michael Johnson and Donovan Bailey.
That almost was on my list. I love that.
Okay. Back then, that thing was so heated, right? After 96 Olympics, Johnson wins a 200 and 400, Bailey wins 100, sets the record, both set the record. And Michael Johnson, being the asshole he is, goes and self-proclaims himself the fastest man in the world. And Donovan Bailey just cools a cucumber, says, all right, let's race. After, I don't know how long after they did the 150. Bailey has him on the inside turn by a mile already, and Johnson pulls up lame, and that's how it ended right there. But
he said it was an injury. Yeah, that was what, 96 Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I'm never a Michael Johnson fan, but
U.S. guy. It was to have the Canadian be the
right
100-meter sprint champion, and the record. It was awesome.
I'd have to go back and watch that again, because didn't Donovan Bailey like kind of half-ass high step it down the stretch? And,
he looked back and he's like, hurry up, or let's go.
It was great at Skydome. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. My next one, Nancy Kerrigan and Tanya Harding.
Nice. It almost made my list. I couldn't do it.
Jeff Gillooly.
Oh, Jeff
Gillooly puts out a hit on Nancy Kerrigan's knee with a 21-inch baton. That's what a rivalry. What a scandal. What a rivalry. You can't beat that when you get criminal.
Yeah, seen the movie?
Have you seen the movie?
I actually haven't.
Oh,
with Margot Robbie plays Tanya Harding.
I, Tanya, or what is it?
Yeah, it is I, Tanya.
It's
and
good.
Robbie.
Yeah. I know. Worth watching
just
for that alone.
Yeah, man. Watch that movie.
Yeah.
Well.
Actually, there's a couple good documentaries out like on YouTube from back in the day about it, when it all the scandal and everything.
Yeah.
Also, for those that didn't know, Tanya Harding has a porno, just for the record. Throwing that out there. Boomer just shaking his head.
Okay, and so my fourth one, I had kind of a list of a few extras if one was taken. I'm going to throw Bird and Magic out there.
That's not bad.
Huge rivalry. I loved I compared it kind of Crosby and Ovi, actually, where Bird is the, by the book, says the right things, where Magic's all showtime. But what a rivalry. I mean, and they got along. That's the best part too, right? They had a mad respect for each other. So my last one, Jeff Pratt and Lane Wallace.
I knew you were going to do it.
I met Lane back in 1993 when I moved to Milne Crescent, and he lived 2 blocks away on Brooks Road. So yeah, 27 years we've had of butting heads, road hockey games, golf matches, endless amount of gambling. In fact, I still have the putter I won off Lane in 1997. That is a King Sedona putter. I believe he actually clubbed me over the head with a Louisville in the park behind Brooks Road at one point. I don't know.
Not intentionally.
No, but
was that like a Nancy Kerrigan hit?
I very well could have been. I
might have been a hit job, yeah. But let's be fair to the viewers. It's a rivalry, but it's a pretty good friendship too. It's
absolutely. It's going strong to this day.
Yeah.
And it ain't changing. And
Jamnoff, Forsberg,
people, if you could only see
last Friday,
how heated this group chat gets, we could honestly create a show just on that alone. It's once a week, butting heads, but it's great. Wouldn't do it any other way. Love Jeff.
Barely made it to Sode 9, that's for sure.
Yeah. A couple questionable times, so yeah.
Absolutely.
It's been good. So
I don't know. A few honorable mentions we have to, because I don't want our viewers to be like, what do you miss this one? Habs and Bruins, Leafs and Habs, those got to be mentioned. I'm not into those rivalries.
Habs and Nordiques back in the day, those were like dirty matchups.
Yeah. Another one I was going to bring up, I like tennis, like Sampras, Agassi, and Federer and Nadal. I like those rivalries, but
Sellis, Graf.
Yep.
Monica Sellis, Steffi Graf.
Yep. So just a few honorable mentions so we don't get called out, but I'm surprised no one had the Bruins Habs.
I'm really glad
we could have gone very top 5-ish and literally just named the top 5 that everyone. I wanted to go away from that because everyone knows them, right? And I really regret the Kings Ducks one, but it's to me, it's like Jeff did a couple of
That's
his.
the one you regret?
Sorry, we all didn't come up with like Estevan Weyburn, okay? Like you got worst top 5 this week goes to me. I'll take it. But I've also had some good top 5s, so let's just keep it on the level here. So, yeah, good ones, boys. Really like that. 2, 1. Okay, so we're back, guys, and we are gonna do our draw now that we got our shit together. We're gonna do our draw for the TSNM Woodlawn Golf Club draw for who picked Wilson and young Spencer to win that event. Once again, the prize is a dozen Pro Vs, a 10-punch range pass, and a golf hat. And we'll draw out of the name here.
Darcy.
Oh.
Darcy.
Marcy Henry.
You guys all.
This is not fake.
I'm,
guys. Like,
I'm
I've got
laughing.
the hat and like the names are in the hat.
Like the skill this guy has of choosing winners, it is just incredible. Like
he's getting them right.
Come on.
Good on you, Darce. So get a hold of Amanda down at the pro shop. She will have your prize there for you. Get the kids out, take them to the range, have some fun, be good stuff. So we kind of, this week we're going to do a little bit different. We don't really have like a specific topic. We're going to run through a few things that have been going on over the last 10, 12 days. I guess the first one I wanted to touch base on, the Colin Kaepernick coming back to the NFL type of deal. This has no racial, I'm saying it right now, I'm just getting it. This has nothing to do with race. I don't want to be that guy. We don't want to be that guy. This is strictly based on his stats as a quarterback. Does Colin Kaepernick deserve to be in the NFL? And I'm just going to give people the rundown here. As a career quarterback, he's got a 72 TD, 30 interception ratio. He's got an 89 quarterback rating, 2,300 rushing yards, 1 Super Bowl appearance. All the other stuff aside, the kneeling, the movement, all that stuff.
You can't put it all aside. That's the point of it.
No, I want to look at him as the player. I don't want to look at it as the social.
But okay, well then this isn't even an argument. The answer is yes, he should be in the NFL. It's very hard to discuss it now because you haven't seen him in 3 years. So, I mean, I wasn't at one of those workouts or whatever, so I can't evaluate whether or not he's worthy. Did he get blackballed? Of course he did.
But you can't tell me his last year in the league he played good. He did not play good.
So that means take him right out of the league?
Wouldn't say that, but he was also asking for a lot of money, Wilson.
Well, yeah. He wanted to start, and he thought he should start. So, but I don't think that's why he didn't play in the NFL. You find a way. Cam Newton wanted some money too, and we all know what he just got paid.
Well, we'll get to that.
So Kaepernick's he's only backup skill now, is he not?
So let's just base it on what he should have
I disagree. There's about 5 or 6 teams he could be a top quarterback on. He could be a starting quarterback.
Really?
I don't know about right now.
I don't know about that.
He has to come into
You're
this.
You're going to tell me Gardner Minshew's better than him?
Well,
potentially after 3 years of not being in the league, I won't say that he should start.
Does everybody? Do you guys remember what exactly happened there? Like he had a start, I think against it might have been the Cardinals, and he threw. I'm pretty sure he threw 4 picks, and then after that the 49ers actually had to go to a single read offense because they were worried about him not going through his progression and then picking up on what he was doing. So, I mean, to me, if you're going to a single read offense, like as a defense, aren't you sitting there saying, you know what, if he doesn't have his first look, if he's not throwing there, he's running. We all know he's running. And you guys have seen it 100 times with people that first year or even the second year. Then all of a sudden teams start getting tape and they start saying, how do we stop this guy? He went to a Super Bowl. Right? That makes a giant target on your back. So as soon as they did that, they said, Kate, we got to figure out how to beat this guy. Well, I feel like they figured out how to beat him. I could be wrong, But I don't know.
What are you saying, though? You're saying he should be in the league or he shouldn't be?
I'm saying he should not be a starting quarterback if they're going to have to run a single read offense for him to function it.
I don't think the expectation. I mean, he's going to say he should be a starter because he wants starter money, but I think he just should be in the league. He, like you said,
but
before Josh Rosen came in, and okay, if Philip Rivers, no offense, Philip Rivers, the dude is done. He is done. If Philip Rivers can be a starting quarterback in this league, come on. That Philip Rivers is just done. Last year he was horrible. Yeah, okay, great. You throw 3 TDs, but you threw 3 picks too, and your team lost the game, right?
So
I agree with Wilson's point that he did get blackballed. He got blackballed for stuff that he didn't do.
We all know he did.
But at the same time, you had receivers, outspoken guys like Torrey Smith and Anquan Bolden, who were on the team at the time, that were furious that he was airmailing the ball all over the field. And couldn't hit them with a pass. So I'm not saying he shouldn't be somewhat involved in the league or shouldn't have continued to be, but I don't think he's a starter past that point. I don't
balance it out. Do you want a below average quarterback or a backup quarterback that comes with the attention? I mean, take that attention with a solid player, right? Why do you need that attention in a backup quarterback? I mean, maybe that's blackballing, but if all things are equal, yet you got this quarterback in Kaepernick. Kaepernick brings the attention and whatever you want to call it. Why would you take him?
That's exactly it. He brought that on. He did what he did. There's no going back from that. It's unfortunate that he did get blackballed from it. Like, I don't think any of us are going to argue whether he should or shouldn't have. We're going to go ahead and say that he should have been in the NHL probably throughout the last 3 years.
NFL. He should not be playing hockey.
I don't know if he can skate, Wilson.
Sorry. NFL. The closest guy I can actually say for an example of losing it is Tebow. So Tebow kind of went through that where he couldn't hit a receiver and then he just couldn't play in the NFL. And whether Kaepernick was that bad, I don't think he was. But I think he should be you know what? I heard this. The perfect fit for him, Kansas City. If he came back and played in Kansas City, he would.
Other than they have the best quarterback in the league, yeah.
Yeah, but he's not going to start. You can't pick a guy up off of 3 years of not playing football and throw him in as a starter because you're going to have to pay him that much, and he shouldn't get. So I think he comes in as a backup and he goes to KC and Mahomes. I mean, they needed a backup last year. He'd fit in. I think it'd be a good fit for them. And I think he would like a shot at going after another Super Bowl. I think he would like it, and they would like it. Reed's an offensive genius, so he'd be all over trying to utilize that guy. You might even see him in the package with Mahomes. So, yeah, I think bring him on into the NFL. I hope he sucks when he gets back just because I don't like him because he kicked the Packers' ass a few times. So, but at the same time,
well, I'll tie that into the next one we're going into. Cam Newton is back. Signed with the Patriots, 1-year incentive-laden deal. Not making much, but he will based on performance bonuses. The rumor was, and it's from a very good source, I should post it on Twitter, was that the Patriots were either going to go with Kaepernick or Newton, and they went with Newton. There had been discussions. There'd only been one team that had gotten a hold of Kaepernick so far, and it was the Patriots. So that being said, as a Patriots fan, and knowing what my team is, and knowing what my team brings to the table, this is a great move. I love this move by Belichick. I know what he's had with Brady. I can't wait to see what they come to the table with a quarterback that's motivated, pissed off. He's been looked down upon, hungry to win. And the Patriots have a lot. They haven't lost anybody. They lost a couple of defensive players. Still got Edelman, still got Sony Michel, James White, Mohamed Sanu. Cam Newton plays even remotely good and stays healthy. That division still goes through New England. Hands down. Anybody that says otherwise, you don't understand how the Patriots play football and how they operate. Buffalo will give them a run, but it will not be. New England will win that division. I
Probably
still have
going to lose to Miami twice because they can't play against them. So that's
well,
good.
yeah, well, you know,
Like,
every now and again.
They got a steal of a deal. That's the main thing here. Like
When you've got a guy that just wants to prove that he still deserves to win, and I've watched all the workout videos. I mean, you can only take from it what it is. He's hungry. He's pissed off.
he plays with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's
and
for
I
sure.
love it.
That's
And
one thing that I don't really. I'm not a big fan of him, but he's definitely got that mentality, which is why I wonder second that they yank him and put what's the other fourth round or whatever. Yeah, I could see that almost not working in his favor. Like if he did get benched or something like that, he's a poor sport, so you never know how that's going to work. They should have got Winston. They should have went after Jameis.
I just don't think he's super coachable. When you've got a guy like Bruce Arians, man, Bruce Arians is one of the easiest coaches to play. You ask anybody that's played, he just was not coachable. Like Arians tried with him multiple times in town.
Have you seen some of the stats from him?
I'm not saying he can't throw the ball. He's a horrible reading quarterback. He can't read a defense. He's horrible.
Well, but with some coaching, like maybe that's what this could have been about. That's why I just thought, where's the talent and even some of the longer term look here on your quarterback. Saints picked Winston or paid Winston pretty much the same amount that the Patriots are paying Newton. Like it wasn't a money thing.
No.
Winston has like some of the craziest stats as far as how far he's come at. What is he, 27? Like he's
that old? I don't think he's that old.
He's 26, 25 maybe.
Whatever.
I have to look it up.
I seen a thing that he's thrown for more yards. Okay, let's say he doesn't throw a single pass this year. He'll have more yards in NFL history than any other quarterback his age. And he doesn't even need to throw a pass. I think maybe Marino.
But when you turn the ball over as much as he does, Wilson, you're not going to win games.
I get that, but the coaching side of that, I think he could. Like, I think he's weird. But I just think that would have been the better move. I'm not saying the Newton one was a bad move because they got him for next to nothing, but I think there's some luggage there that.
I'll respond to it this way. I think when Belichick sat down with Newton and said, okay, look, you want to come and win? We want you to come and win. I don't want to see, and I'll be shocked. I could be wrong. There's not going to be the press conferences wearing the scarves and the shades.
Did you hear what they asked them to do for some of the incentives?
I'd have to look. It hasn't been officially released from what I saw.
For one of them, he has to go back to Carolina and wear a wire. And he's got it.
Got to win.
Got to get it. If you play, just kind of skim the last little bit that he can out of that playbook. That's one incentive I think I heard.
I don't think Carolina's a big threat anymore. I just don't see that being the case.
Just whatever either was Cincinnati.
Either the Bengals.
Yeah, if we're worried about them, I guess. So,
by the way, Patriots got another fine and another loss of a draft pick. Love it. Thank you, Roger Goodell. Just keep it coming. Love it. I'm
not attributing any of the Patriots' success this season to necessarily Cam Newton.
No, I didn't say that.
But I'm just gonna, like, as long as we're clear here, if the Patriots do what I think they're gonna do, which is I actually feel like they might get 10 wins. I think that is all going to be because of Bill. I don't think that's going to be because of anybody but Bill. Unless they've got some lightning in a bottle that I don't know about, I feel like the consistent part of that team has been Bill Belichick.
I understand that, but you're going to tell me you don't want to see what Josh McDaniels, one of the best offensive coordinators in football, is going to do with a running mobile quarterback now?
I don't know. I would have had he been unbelievable with the Broncos when he was a head coach there, then I might say
he's not a head coach. He's an offensive coordinator. That's why he came back to New England.
Whether or not he actually is the person that you think Josh McDaniels is, and it isn't just everybody fitting in underneath Belichick's system like it's looked like it has, I guess we'll see.
Belichick doesn't run the offense. I know
that's
that.
one other thing.
Belichick doesn't run the offense.
I think Belichick does whatever
Winston-
I think Belichick does whatever he wants.
He
But-
definitely runs the defense, but he definitely has input.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. I don't think McDaniels ran the offense. I think Brady ran the offense. So I
Why
guess
do you
we'll
think
see.
there was such a? Why do you think they had times where they didn't get along? Because it ran through McDaniels and Brady didn't like it. So take it for what it's worth. He's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers calls his own plays. Brady did not call his own plays, and that's well documented. You can look it up anywhere.
Well, I guess we'll see. Like I said, I guess we'll see. I don't have near the respect for Cam Newton that you guys do.
I don't respect him, but he's who said respect? I just think it's a step up from Jared.
He was good. He was good for. I'll give him 3 years. He was good for
pretty
3
dominant,
years.
man. He was pretty dominant.
One more thing.
It's hard to stop a 6 foot whatever 280-pound quarterback. Yeah, I agree. He's an athletic presence, but I don't know. I've said enough.
You know what? The one other thing that I want to throw out here, on why I like Winston, because that would have actually had a lot of who's the better coach between
Arians or Bill. Yeah.
Because it just would have been a straight swap.
I like Winston better as just a quarterback right now.
Well, me too.
And he had some ugly turnovers, and yeah, he had some ugly he had some.
They said he had a worse personality and character than Cam Newton, and that's also well documented.
Well, then that's what I mean. So they're both questionable. Like,
what's next?
Was your comment earlier? Was that a detriment to Bruce Arians? Because I hope not.
Who?
Or were you saying that he's a good coach?
I said
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians is one of the best coaches around.
Okay, good. Because I heard that wrong.
If you can't improve as a quarterback under Bruce Arians, tutoring you and giving you tutelage, I don't see you really being that good. That's just my take.
Well, a future Hall of Famer chased him out of Pittsburgh. But anyway, go ahead, Wilson.
Well, don't even get me.
I'm waiting. Lane, what's
next topic? So we're going into not really topics, just spring training has started in baseball. People are testing positive with COVID. Yippee, whatever. Just get on with it already. At this point, no offense to anybody, you're better off just going out and getting the thing as far as these pro athletes go. Getting it and getting – well, none of them have – a lot of them have been showing asymptomatic. How about Djokovic? Tested positive 5 days ago, and all of a sudden today he's showing negative, not testing positive for it. So where's the disconnect here? I think there's a lot of we're not getting into COVID. I want to, and
I just want to hear what Jeff has to say.
I heard something cool, not cool today, but true story. They're having COVID parties in the States where you pay to get in, and it's teenagers, and the first one to get it gets the pot.
I heard that.
And it's true.
Oh.
I have no comment on it.
Yeah, that's a little bit that's different.
Holy.
Quickly going to touch on once again, season starts for baseball supposedly July 24th. I am so looking forward to just having something to watch. Cricket. I'll take cricket even if I have to. So we had the NHL draft lottery.
Oh, God.
Now, look, we all know I'm not going to bitch and complain. My team came out pretty rosy on this. But for the fact that one of those teams that gets into the qualifying rounds, that gets that number one pick is absolute junk, horseshit. Anybody that says otherwise, there's just no way. There's just no way. You should not be granted a chance to get that number one pick. You didn't make the play. You just didn't. Pratt, you go ahead.
Oh, it's such a flawed system. I was pulling numbers. So Detroit was 23 points behind the next worst. Okay. They had an 18.5% chance of getting that pick.
Yeah.
The other teams that are in the play-in round combined, but that still goes against what Detroit's chances are 23.5% chance.
Total.
Yeah, so we add them together. So there's a better chance of one of those teams, doesn't have to be just one, but one of those teams, than Detroit, who doesn't have a shot at any play-in thing.
But Pratt, that's the point of it. Is it's not about tanking your season to get these players. Like
nobody tanks.
Detroit didn't tank. Detroit just sucks.
Detroit was just terrible.
Same with Ottawa. Same with LA for that.
And Ottawa or in Detroit earned this.
Yeah. Ottawa should be furious.
Detroit went 22 years making playoffs, drafting 27 through 31 every year. And they lasted a long friggin' time doing that. Finally, okay, now it's rebuild time after a 22 year straight. And they get fucked over by like this? Are you kidding me?
It just goes to show, don't put yourself in that situation. That's your own fault. If you
I don't think guys are
situation.
Come on, Wilson. No.
What?
Don't put yourself in that situation. You think it's Detroit's fault that they're that bad?
Look at their
They're
roster.
awful.
It is.
How?
It's not.
It's their fault.
How's it their fault?
They don't have good enough players. They've got 2 good players.
Yeah, but
guys
Wilson,
They
gonna
can't help
act
that,
like-
Wilson. How can they help that?
Wilson, there's
They
an
have
ebb and
the
flow.
longest
There's an
playoff
ebb and
winning
flow.
streak of any or making the playoffs. How can you fault them for that?
Right.
It's
You guys-
cyclical. It's cyclical.
It's not the Oilers here we're talking about who get a first rounder forever.
Oh my
and get a
God.
different team good.
You want to blame the Oilers?
I
for
can't
something? I
believe-
can understand that. The Red Wings were due. They had to rebuild.
Right.
You
They
guys,
had no players.
this is totally their fault. Like, how can you blame anything else other than the fact that they were the worst team in the league? They got unlucky with getting a first pick, which I don't believe just because you're the worst team in the league, you should have a guarantee or
Why
even
not?
Why?
Why?
Because-
But change the system at least. Like
Why?
have the top 3 make sure one of the bottom 3 get that first pick. Why is? Because I know you don't think one of the playing teams should get the first pick. Do you? Like Pittsburgh
I
could get
know,
this.
Yeah, like Pittsburgh ends up with Lafreniere. How does that look?
What are we
It's a bad
rebuilding?
look for the league, man. It's a bad look for the league, and you
Horrible.
can't say that it is.
Yeah, Wilson. I'm not
Can't say it's good.
going with you on this.
No,
It's-
I'm not saying that this situation, I know it's unique, but I am definitely not sitting here going to feel sorry for Detroit because they got unlucky in the lottery. That's what it's about.
I think that the 3 worst teams in the league, no matter what, should be guaranteed that first pick. After that, anything goes.
I agree.
If one of those 10, 11, 12 seed teams move up to the 2 spot, 3 spot, I can live with it. But for a team like Pittsburgh or Toronto or any of these others to have a chance at getting Lafreniere or Byfield or Stützle,
Just to confirm, it is those teams can still get it. Pittsburgh and some of those higher
If they
seeded-
lose.
Yeah,
the teams
Pittsburgh
that
can
are
still
from
get it.
5 to 12 who lose will have a shot at that.
But I wanna just make sure that
I
we
really-
all know.
I don't
I
know.
want to make sure that we all know. I have a list here of the things that Jeff and Lane have agreed on in the podcast so far. They just agreed on the first thing. So
Dogtown, Laner, Dogtown, buddy.
like I mean, there's one
I just-
positive.
I can't believe to
No,
fight.
but Wilson, I hear what you're saying.
I
Oh.
just
This
But
is group chat and Twitter worthy. We'll be hitting Twitter with this one because this is, yeah.
like the fact that the highest percentage of getting the first overall pick wasn't one team, but it was that collection of
Yeah.
teams. That's the highest percentage. That's not right. So the odds are that
Heavily
a playing
flawed.
team's going to get the pick. That's
Heavily flawed.
the odds favor the playing teams.
Yeah.
23.5% versus 18.5 for Detroit. So the best odds were a play-in team. How stupid is that? I think. I don't know.
that I understand. I just am sitting there going, well, whatever it is. Like, and is that normal? Is that in a normal year?
No.
For the NHL?
No.
Okay, that's what I.
And how about Buffalo? They had, what did I have? 6.5% chance for Buffalo, and the worst play-in team gets 6% chance. So Buffalo gets hooched on making in the play-in round because they played less games, and then they got the same percentage anyways. And they need help. But anyway.
Yeah, Buffalo got hosed. That's terrible.
I want to close that out. I am happy that I don't even care, Wilson. The Kings got the second overall pick. They're getting a really good player. And I was talking to my dad and a couple other, there's some not for sure that Lafreniere is going to go number 1 if one of those other teams from the lower get in, because if their need is a big skilled centerman, they might go Byfield instead of Lafreniere. It's not as clear cut as everyone says it is.
I don't know. I think it's clear.
Will I
cut.
be
I think
shocked
it's pretty
if
clear
Lafreniere
cut,
doesn't
but-
go first? No.
Hey,
But
guess
I know
what,
LA
too?
is getting a great consolation prize. So
imagine if the Oilers lose to Chicago.
oh, don't even know. I will riot.
I told you guys. I told you guys, and you guys have heard me say this before. Edmonton gets 3 or 4 more first overall picks. They're gonna really have something there. Like you guys are gonna regret even ever talking about that, because they have something to deal with here in a few seasons.
And the last thing I guess we wanted to touch on, the hub cities have been chosen. It's going to be Edmonton, Toronto, with the conference finals and the Stanley Cup final being played in Edmonton, was announced today. So I think this was the only way they had to go with it, just with what's going down in the States right now. They've been granted an exception for the teams to come up here and basically stay in the bubble, especially with the cases being lower here than it is down there. So it works out good. Hopefully, like I said, I've heard a lot of people say, just scrap it. We don't want – you know what? We just need something. We need something at this point, something morally positive to get back going. So that's definitely looming on the horizon, hopefully the end of this month, unless COVID decides to rear its ugly head again. So we're going to close out today. Local shout-out. What do we got there, guys?
I guess basically the only thing we kind of really have now is minor baseball, and I guess slow pitch is starting on Monday too.
All baseball.
All baseball's firing up here locally, and we just wanted to give a shout out to our 2 buddies that are very, very good listeners of the show. They always tune in. Lee Simons and Darcy Henry, both coaching the Brewers minor ball team there. So good luck to those guys this year, and that's our local shout out.
Well, how can you not tune in every week when you win a prize? I don't see how you couldn't do it. So
or when you sponsor us, Lane, let's not forget about that. Big sponsorship there from Leo. Hey, you gotta.
Oh yeah,
Leo.
I want to bring up one thing, little tidbit of info I heard this week. Loyal viewer Tyler Hildebrandt brought it up to my attention. Do you guys have you guys watched Waco on Netflix?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay. Taylor Kitsch, the main character, plays Tim Riggins in Friday Night Lights. He's on Lone Survivor. He's a superstar.
Yep.
He played 6 games for the Estevan Bruins in 2000-2001 season.
He did not. Really?
He did. Look it up on Hockey DB.
What season?
2000-2001. So I want to reach out to, I know Joey DeMckelly, Lonnie Forster, I don't know who else.
Yeah, I was going to say, those guys.
They played that year, and I want to know who his billet was, because that'd be pretty cool, whoever billeted him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Watches him on Waco, because that performance was unreal. And I want to know what he was like, or if they remember playing with him. It was only 6 games. He had 17 penalty minutes. So I'd have had a Tilly.
Taylor Kitsch he's Mike Murphy on Lone Survivor, right?
Yep.
Yeah, my wife just loves him. Hugest crush. Okay, yeah.
Handsome fellow.
Yeah, great looking guy.
So yeah, he even did a celebrity shootout with Luc Robitaille in Hollywood.
Did he really?
Yeah, so he's a hockey player, right?
Oh, so Lane should know all about this.
Born in Kelowna or Kamloops.
Unfortunately, I do know all about this. I just
don't
see it.
Yeah, for sure you do, because Luc Robitaille played for the Kings, right?
Luc Robitaille autographs all over there, boys. Which one you want to see? Got them all.
Anyways, I think that's cool. So maybe, I don't know if Lonnie or Joey are watching, or any other guys that played back then. Let us know. Let Cheap Seats know on Twitter what cool. Taylor was like. And if he fought that year, because he got 17 penalty minutes, so he did something that was taboo. So.
Well, I'm now wiser for that. I am also, I had a few guys, actually about 6 or 7, ask me what it is exactly I have going on behind on my wall here. And a lot of guys they're very, so I'm just going to, those are hockey cards for those guys that don't know. I got autographed 8x10s here on the left, but all those are Los Angeles King players, hockey cards, short prints, numbered cards that are very rare, hard to find. I've collected them for over 15 years. So for those of you that asked me and wanted to know what they were, that's what they were. So I got a couple there behind Wilson. He's got some basketball ones. Yeah. Boomer's got some baseball ones behind him there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually funny you say that, because I have had guys too that have said, well, actually really close friends, because not a lot of people get to see my basement, but have actually asked why I don't record in front of the deer that I have in my basement. And, I mean, I'm not going to go there. I don't even want to entertain that idea, like, of somebody finding that offensive. So yeah, that's why I don't. So I figured I'd address that.
I have one too, Lane.
Anybody here? That is a.
I have one from you too, which was nice, but I smashed it after this morning's group chat. So just kidding.
That rivalry getting heated again here. That rivalry getting heated.
Yeah, I even gave Pratt one, and the guy can't even put it on his wall behind him so we can see it.
I would have to own a hammer and nails to put it up, and
You want me to drop a pair off for you? I can help you out.
Once he got that shirt on, he couldn't lift his arms above his head to hang it. Shot for this episode.
All right, guys. Good episode this week. We will post the trivia question for this week for everybody. Once again, thanks to the sponsors, Ice Factory, Willie's Tap House, and
mentioned TS&M Woodlawn.
Yeah, TS&M Woodlawn. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll definitely see you again next week.
Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
Cheers.